guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. Well, some of you may have seen the community post I put up, but I decided to do a short video. I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately, and I owe you guys some content. But again, Morgan Geyser, we could have predicted this, right? Back in October 2024, she was granted by a judge a conditional release. Now, of course, nothing really happened, with that for quite some time, and we can forward to July of this year. Well, we can back that up as far as now. She had some issues getting a group home to take her in. They decided, the group home that was supposed to take her, they decided to not really take Morgan for some reasons. And she was finally placed in a group home just last month. So she has not been out in a group home for very long. And obviously, as those of us that have followed this case at all, we suspected this was not a good idea. Morgan was pretty much the leader of this entire plot, or however you want to call it. So she cut off her Department of Corrections monitoring bracelet, which was part of her conditions to be in this group home. And she was last seen around 8 p.m. last night, which is Saturday, with an adult acquaintance. And as of today, Sunday afternoon, law enforcement has no idea where Morgan is. And of course, they have all hands on deck for her, and they're telling anyone who spots her to call 911. If you're not familiar with the Slenderman stabbings, I'm going to play a bit of a news clip from when this all happened in 2014. It is a horrific case, and a lot of us out here, again, like I said, we did not think that Morgan should be released. Her mental stability is just not, it's not good. And it's going to show that this judge made a bad call. So as soon as she's captured, and we all know she will be at some point, I'm pretty sure she's going right back to that mental institution. This is a clip from TMJ4 News.
Now at 6, a disturbing story. 2 young girls appear in court in Waukesha accused of stabbing a 12-year-old girl 19 times.
It is believed that the suspects had planned to kill the victim for several months.
The stabbings happened on Saturday near Big Bend Road and Rivera Drive in Waukesha. The victim is recovering this evening.
Police say both young suspects were motivated by a website about death and horror.
Jermont Terry has the story. He is live in Waukesha with the latest. Jermont.
Yeah, Carol, it's just eerie standing next to these woods. This crime is horrific, especially when you think about the fact it involves 3 12-year-olds and 1 girl who nearly lost her life after her so-called friends lured her to these woods. It's a plot police say these girls planned for months to kill and run off to please an internet character.
The woods can be adventurous for children, but these woods off Big Bend Road and Riviera Drive in Waukesha turned into a crime scene by children. 12-year-old Morgan Geyser dropped her head, her long blonde hair covered her face as she and her friend, 12-year-old Anissa Weier, answered to first-degree attempted homicide charges.
Both suspects had a fascination with a fictitious character that often posted to a website that is a collection of small stories about death and horror.
Investigators say a website about death and horror somehow consumed the pair, and for months they plotted how they would kill their friend.
12 years old. Yeah. And this was a disgusting crime. Both of these girls have serious mental illness issues, and I don't know how Peyton survived, but thank God that she did. And also, in case you guys seem like this sounds familiar, but you're not as familiar with the actual Slenderman stabbings, well, you may have seen an episode, and I recall it very clearly, of a Law and Order SVU inspired by this case. And they called their fictional character in that particular story, they called him Glasgow Man. And it was also, again, like I said, it was based on the real life incident here with Morgan and Anissa, and where they stabbed Peyton. And I'll tell you what, that alone was pretty scary. But that was fictional. But this is real life. These two girls thought, I don't know, they thought Slender Man was real. They decided that this fictional horror character, where folks drew drawings, made up stories, they decided it was real, and that they needed to stab their friend to please this fictional character. It's really, it's crazy.
My granddaughter, I guess, used to play with the girl up in the other building at one time. She says she's a nice kid.
Edmund Meinhardt lives next door to Geyser. He, like many, can't believe children are accused of luring a friend into the woods and trying to kill.
Accused of stabbing another 12-year-old 19 times in the woods.
Oh, my God. That's terrible.
Once there, one suspect held the victim down, while the other suspect stabbed her 19 times.
Those wounds pierced the heart, pancreas, and stomach. Doctors said the girl came within 1 millimeter away from certain death.
Morgan's parents are very sad about what has happened. They're horrified.
So at this point, I'm just hoping and praying that they find Morgan sooner rather than later. I'm sure that they have, protection for Peyton, and her family is not going to let anyone go near her, I'm sure, as well. But again, she's a danger, and I don't believe she should have ever been let out to live in a group home. My personal opinion is this judge, he made a bad call. The judge made a very, very bad call, and all we can hope for is that Morgan Geyser is found. And if you happen to see her or have any information, they're asking you to call law enforcement. But definitely, if you see her, call 911. If you happen to be anywhere in that area, where she could be in Wisconsin. But this girl should not be out on the streets ever again. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. With that said, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.